Right, we are live. Awesome, we are live. So welcome to this a bit out of sync live, a bit impromptu live. Normally I don't go live at this time. I go live at 11 o'clock, but I've been very quiet this last week because obviously I've announced the retirement of my coaching business. I closed my website on the 1st of June. And there's some big changes afoot. And I thought there was never a better time than to pop on live this morning at a different time and talk to you about how to get started in business, because sometimes going back to basics can refresh us if we're already in business, or it can generate enough momentum to start new ideas and new ventures. So I thought I'd just come on and chat about that with everything that's happening in my world at the moment. So first and foremost, I'm going to apologize for being invisible for the last week. I've had a friend over from America. I've had a lot of things on. I've got the photographer coming out to photograph my mini castle tomorrow to put it on the market officially. And plans are in motion. I've been viewing properties in Newcastle, you name it, and I've been doing it. So I've been very quiet. I've taken a little break from social media, which we are all entitled to do. And obviously I am prepping and planning for my semi-retirement, but retirement isn't retirement for me. And I will be starting something new. So I wanted to talk about that today. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Mandy Nicholson. And I'm still the creative genius consultant. I'm still an artist and an author. And I still have creative retreats and bed and breakfast here in Dalbeattie in Scotland until September this year or thereabouts. So you can still get me. You can get access to me by coming here for bed and breakfast, or coming for a strategy day, or coming for a retreat. There are still a couple of spaces left this year at the Art Bank in Dalbeattie. So I'm not disappearing off the face of the earth from Scotland yet. You can still work with me one-to-one coaching if you want to. I am not closing down that side of the business. However, that will be by referral or by knowledge only. I won't be advertising that. So there's big changes afoot. For those of you that have watched my journey, you've seen me build something really quite big. And now I am liquidating those assets and reinvesting them. And that's a great thing to be able to do, to be retiring at 60 and to be liquidating assets and investing in new assets and changing direction feels really exciting. So I thought, what better time to talk about how to get started in business? Because I will be starting a new venture with my two children, with Becca and Dan, over in Newcastle. And it will probably be a product business. And we have no idea what that looks like yet. So what a great time to talk about, like, doing the basics of how do we identify what it is that we want to do? What's the mission behind it? And that's where we start. What's the mission and the vision behind where I want to go next? That mission and vision for me is about family. It's about building something with my children that is a legacy for them, that they continue to work in and build when I am no longer around. So that's kind of my mission and vision now. This is about building legacy. I've built assets. I've liquidated those assets. I've built businesses. I've helped lots of women. I'm continuing to do that for the next year. So whilst I'm continuing to do the last cohort of my creative mastermind, which finishes at the end of next June, I'll be working on this with my kids. So how do you get started? You start with identifying what is a need. So what is something that you can provide that you have knowledge of or skills in? So it doesn't have to be something that you do. It can be knowledge of, you can teach. Yeah. How do you come up with something that people need? What is a gap in the market or a foothold in the market at the minute? Okay. There's never too many of anything. And I want to start there. I want you to think about supermarkets and think about the bread aisle, because I come from supermarkets. I used to work in food retail. There was always a new loaf of bread. always a new loaf of bread. There was always loads of white bread, loads of brown bread, loads of wholemeal bread, loads of seeded bread, but there was always a new one, because there's always room in the market for something slightly new and slightly different once you've identified a need or a trend. So with bread, it was, gluten-free was happening, and people with intolerances and allergies. So there was gaps in the market all the time for new things coming along. So it doesn't matter what it is you intend to do, what you want to do, what you're thinking about doing right now in your business, there's always room for what you know or what you can do, because what you know or what you can do is different to the next person. Okay, even if it's similar. So let's use an example that I've got sitting on my desk right in front of me at the minute, because I've got some amazing, talented clients on my mastermind at the moment that are creating patterns for work that they have done. I've got one on my desk here. Now, there are millions of patterns out there, millions of patterns for crochet, for knitting, for making things, for crafting things, millions of them. But there's always room for a new one. And if yours is different and it's unique and it's niche, or it's something that's not out there at the minute, even if it's slightly different, there's room for it in the marketplace. So you do your market research. So step one, how do you get started in business? You found a gap, you find a need or a want that people have out there, and you can do that through market research. So ask questions in groups, ask questions in public places, ask questions of your friends and family. Is there anything in the genre that you're thinking about moving into that you think there might be a gap or an opportunity or a real niche that nobody else has tapped into yet that you can follow? And do your market research. Develop it. Develop your idea, your product, your teaching, your book, and test it out in the marketplace. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing over the next few months. I'm going to share this journey really openly with you over the next few months, so that you can watch me build something new with my kids and show you that actually I've always been very authentic in my business with my coaching clients. And I always have ideas. I'm a creative. We all do. All of the creatives I know in the world all have a million ideas a day. Not all of them are great business ideas. Not all of them will end up making money. So I'm going to invite you along the way to kind of just come with me. So I'm going to share initial thoughts with you today. How to get started in business. What are we thinking? The first thing I said to my daughter is, what is it that you have really, really loved doing, that you love doing, that you can imagine doing every day when you get up, that you'd love to do as a job that wouldn't feel like work? Because that's where to start, really, isn't it? Now, remember, both of my children are autistic. My daughter has huge sensory abilities, if you like, because she's autistic. So for her, one of her top sensory things is scent. So she wants to work with scent. Even though she's an artist, she also works with, I'm an artist. I've done lots of different things. So she's really interested in scent and in film. And her first discussion with me was, wouldn't it be great if we could create essential oils or wax melts or scents that smell like iconic movies or cult series that remind people of that movie, or that they could actually use while watching the movie? And I was like, wow, that's niche. And there's a huge following for some of these cult movies. Maybe that's something we can develop. So kind of that's what's happening at the minute. We're pinging creative ideas. So we're really early stages here. I'm inviting you along from the very get-go of whatever idea, and running the risk of somebody coming in and going, yeah, that's a great idea, I'm going to do it before you do. And I actually don't care about that. I think it's, if you're going to be authentic, be authentic. So we're running ideas at the moment. We will test the market. We will look at the niche and the genre. And we will do some intensive market research. So how to get started in business? You start by brainstorming ideas. What does that market look like? What sort of spend is there in that marketplace? What's there at the moment? Is there a gap? Is something missing? So that's kind of what's happening in the Nicholson household at the moment. And we've identified roles within the business. So my son's going to do all the tech, and my daughter's going to do the product development, labeling, all of that sort of thing. And I will be the business strategist and marketing. So when you're starting out, you are all of those things. You are the tech, you are the product development, you are the marketing and the strategist and everything. And that's why sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming. So I've been all of those things when I've built the businesses that I've started with, but I haven't stayed all of those things. I've hired people as the businesses have grown and developed. And that's how to get started in business. You start out as the chief everything officer, doing all the things, being the ideas person, the product development person, the market research person, the bringing things together person. You are the chief everything officer. And that's what feels overwhelming. And if that's where you are and you are still stuck, then that's when you reach out for help. Now, although I've closed my mastermind, and the doors closed on the 1st of June. I have got some calls booked in this week with ladies who are still wanting to join. So if you are like last minute and still going, oh God, I'd love to go and join the mastermind, if you contact me today or tomorrow, I might be able to squeeze you in because there are a couple more places. But if you don't, then the opportunity has been missed this week because the doors closed on the 1st of June officially and the website is down. But that's the starting point. If that's where you're at in your business, test the market. Look at what's already out there and look at what you do and why it's different. So let me give you a couple of examples of clients from last year's mastermind cohort. If you go and have a look at Caroline West. Caroline West is an artist and she niched and went out there and shared her tea bag art. So she paints on recycled tea bags. It's very niche. It's very different. Nobody else was doing it. There was a gap. Lots of people were interested in it because it's repurposing, recycling, environmentally friendly, and also interesting. And it's small and fits into small spaces instead of being big art. So there were lots of niche messages we could use with that. And she's worked with that and developed that over the last 12 months and has graduated with a really successful business and leveraged that niche and that difference, but started with nothing 12 months ago. So when you get started in business, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what the ideas are. What matters is the research you do in those early stages. Look at what's commercial. Look at what's trending. What colors are trending? What designs are trending? What interiors are trending? What food products are trending? What's trending in the area, the niche that you are in? And how do you fit into that? And how does what you want to do fit into that? So today was more of a discussion about this is where I am. After building two really successful businesses and deciding to close them down, I'm back at the beginning again. And it's really exciting. And I love this part. I love the ideas part and developing ideas. And so should you if you are in business. This is exciting. Enjoy it. Don't feel overwhelmed. Enjoy it. And you may have to stay in this phase for 3 or 4 months. Some people stay in this phase for years before they actually come out the other side with a product or service that they think is right for the marketplace that they are in and are ready to have a strategy behind it and a marketing strategy and a idea and a product and a finished, polished thing. I love watching my clients do this in the mastermind and I'm excited to be doing it myself. So wherever you are, share that in the comments for this live. Share where you're at. Share your journey so far. Share if you're stuck. And let's see if we can help and support each other at this stage. And, you are welcome to come and join me on my journey. My social pages are going to change over the coming weeks. So if you're in Creative Genius Corner, it's not that I've forgotten about you or I'm neglecting you. I'm rethinking how I can help you best in that group from wherever you are to wherever you want to be. So I don't want to show up and do the same things. I want to be able to share this journey with you and help you in some of the basic things that may be happening in your business, or more advanced things that might be happening in your business right now. So the structure is going to change over the next couple of weeks, so bear with me while I'm reorganizing that. Let me know what's happening in your world. On my business page, that will be changing, but in the meantime, I will drop in occasionally and share things that I think are relevant. On LinkedIn, I will share with you the journey as well into developing and building a new business. So thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for being here for the last 5 years. Thanks for being part of my really successful journey. And actually, you know, I'm looking forward to holding your hand for any part of your journey over the next year or two while I build something new, semi-retire, travel a bit, paint more, write more, create more, sew more, and do lots more of the things I truly love, which isn't that what life's all about? Yeah. Anyway, I will be in here at some point next week. I don't know when yet, but I will drop in intermittently, let you know what's happening with the structure, and keep you informed on what's happening with this journey. So tomorrow, photographs of the art bank being taken, ready to get it on the market. As soon as it's on the market, I'll share the link so you can all go and have a right good nosy. And I will see you on the other side of the week. Have a great week. Have an awesome weekend. I've got a retreat this weekend and I'm really looking forward to it. So I will see you all next week.